I'd like you to pay attention to the background music. Oh, well, apparently it's the same on the touchscreen as it is on this menu. But listen as I go into Grand Prix. And then back out. And over to versus. Oh, well, same on this screen. Let's see if we can get into a lobby for party match. Or maybe I don't need to. Maybe it's gonna be the same song on this screen than it would be while trying to find people. I just think it's neat that the music is the same theme, but its instrumentation changes as you go through it. Anyway, welcome back for another episode of ARMS. We're doing Kid Cobra. Bail Nobra!
Bail Nobra! Bail Nobra!
Actually, you know what? Since I did a different color for Twin Tail, how about I do one for Kid Cobra? Maybe not that one. Be White Cobra. Whoop. Nope. Click and then press left. Kind of watermelon. Yeah, I'll stick with the normal colors. I like these normal colors. Very, like, 90s. Makes me think of, like, stuff I grew up with. Which, yeah, late 90s for me, you know, 97. But, you know, some of that stuff was still around, you know, like bowling alley floors and those paper cups. I don't really have a plan for what difficulty we do Kid Cobra on. How about we just chill? We do 4. Or... no, because Kid Cobra is a really good character. Maybe I should be showing that off. Yeah, we'll do 6 again. Live from the Snake Park, the coolness, the mystery, the force of the ARMS Grand Prix is upon us. And who else will be here to share in this Everybody Myth? All eyes are on Kid Cobra. Literally, the views on his snakeboarding videos are in the 7 digits. If I was a betting man, I'd say his performance in the ARMS Grand Prix will only add to his fan base. But what do I know? I couldn't make a video like that, much less upload it for billions to see. Anyway, Kid Cobra's online community is amped to the max, because the ARMS Grand Prix is starting now! Oh, Springman. I'm not sure if I consider this a good first start, because, you know, get the hard guy out of the way. It's Kid Cobra vs. Bouncer, Springman. He's got hopes and dreams of his home base, the Spring Gym, riding on his shoulders. Even here in the booth, the passion he radiates is... I don't want to say annoying, but yeah. Hey, I for one respect his passion. The Kid Cobra is one of the most mobile characters. In fact, I'll get grabbed right away just to show you how easily he can escape attacks. I won't even use a snakeboard. I don't need it. I'm Kid Cobra. I'm so good at moving around. I don't even need my signature riding vehicle thing. I feel like vehicle's the wrong word, but what would you call, like, a skateboard? Like a locomotion device. Kid Cobra's whole deal is he has a really good jump stat. Like, even better than Ribbon Girl's, and her thing is jumping multiple times. And when he charges up, he gets dashes. If you do a forward dash, when charged up, it can actually slide under arms. If I can pull it off... well, okay. It's like I was saying, just get Springman out of the way. Get one of my most difficult opponents out of the way first. I actually can't remember if was gonna say Springman. No, Kid Cobra has any unique traits other than his dash? I think it's kind of like Twintel, where it seems like it's one move, but it's counted as two because you get the dash and the forward dash is different. Just like Twintel's air dash is, you know, it operates differently than it does on the ground because she technically gets a second dash. But, you know, despite how basic his moveset might sound, I find he's really fun to play as because of this really high jump stat. Like, especially because jumping makes you go up as well as to the side. So it can be a really good way of avoiding attacks, which I'm really not showing here. Yeah, so he got around his rush and was able to land a grab for 70. That's another trait to respect about Kid Cobra. He's got a pretty strong grab. Grab, throw, I don't know what word I want to use apparently. I think I keep switching between the two words. So Kid Cobra's arms are the Slamamander, which is just was gonna say wind. I'm like, no, it's air. No, wind was correct. This is an avatar. He's not a wind bender. And you got the Hydra, which is like Springman's Tri-Bolt, but turned on its side, and it's Fire Element. Is it the only... No. I was gonna say the only lightweight weapon that's fire? No, because there's the Cracker. But I like that it's fire to reward you with that kind of hard to land-ness of it, you know, the difficulty of landing it. And then you got the Coolerang, which is an ice version of the Boomerang, ice curving arm. I suppose it's pretty nice curving arm. I probably should have stuck with the Hydra, I'm starting to think. Uh-oh. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I think the Slamamander probably is. Again, I forgot to read about like what recommended arms would be for Kid Cobra, and I didn't read about his play style either. But I feel like a mobile character like him is probably good at slipping forward and backwards, you know, between different ranges, mix up your opponent, mix up your own movements to confuse your opponent. So I would assume he's probably good at pressure, while also, you know, same deal as Ribbon Girl, being able to dip in and out of playstyles, you know, long range, short range. Oh, come on. Well, since I'm gonna cut anyway, I might as well take this as an opportunity to actually read what I'm supposed to be doing here with Kid Cobra. Alright, take two. I suppose the Hydra was giving me good luck there. So yeah, I was kind of right reading on the wiki there. Kid Cobra's playstyle is that he can use his speed to his advantage to pressure his opponents and slip out or retreat if he needs to very easily. His speed is actually pretty low when he's not charged, so obviously you want to charge it, and you can get up to 5 consecutive dashes. And an additional trait to his dashes is not only do they become much better when he's charged, but when he dashes while charged, his arms will act as if he is using them in air, even when he's on the ground. Which we haven't seen any arms, well, aside from Dr. Coils, but you know, we haven't gotten to talk about any arms that change whether you're on the ground or midair. But yeah, it's pretty cool to think that he's designed that way, where you can basically stay grounded while also utilizing the abilities of arms that change if you're in the air. I feel like that was redundant to say. Got you now! Or maybe not. Okay, 150, that's fine. Still more than a regular hit, I suppose. Man, I'm totally forgetting to try to keep him off the snake board. Yeah, gotcha. Ooh, barely. And I also forgot that Kid Cobra's girth stat is the maximum. It's 5 out of 5. So he also does pretty well with arms that utilize that size to his advantage. You know, like, I bet he could probably do pretty decently with like a Megaton or Megawatt. Get some extra pressure on his opponent. No, you stay off that board. Stay off. You're not getting on the board. Now is not the time for snakeboarding videos. We could do that later. I got a tournament to win. Yeah, gotcha. Get off my board. These are both mine. Brought them from home. There we go. And with a nice icy whirlwind. But that would feel great in the summer, but right now it's December. I would rather not get caught in an icy whirlwind. And that's me saying that from living in New Jersey. I can't imagine what an icy whirlwind would feel like if I lived somewhere where it's much colder than Wisconsin. And you know, I bet Kid Cobra's girth stat is as high as it is, not only to give him more advantages than just his speed, but also I bet it's to make it easier to land hits with him. Because like I've read with Ribbon Girl, you want arms with large hitboxes, so it's easier to land those hits and take advantage of your speed. You know, you can focus more on dodging. So I guess that's the idea here with Kid Cobra. Man, I've been recording for 14 minutes already, and that was just the first match. Here comes Bite and Bark. One of the other opponents I have difficulties with. Just get them all out of the way first. Kid Cobra versus Cobra comes Bite and Bark! The thing to keep in mind about Buster Beach is the platform in the middle. You can't walk over it, but it won't get in the way of your punches. And you can also stand on it if you prefer the high ground. Except I do not. Except I'll take it anyway. Yeah, he punched me right away. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that Kid Cobra is the one with the highest jump stat. Like, you would think it would be Springman. At least that's what my mind says, is that Kid Cobra should have Springman stats. Or Springman should have Kid Cobra's stats. With having the good jumping. Because I think of a Spring as being really mobile and jumpy. And Springman's actually much more basic than that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think he's a great fighter as he is. I just think it's interesting that they decided to give it to a snake instead of a spring, when snakes really aren't known for jumping, at least not to my knowledge. Oh hey, got him with a bomb. I've heard of jumping spiders. Ugh, that's a concept I hate. Okay, he's going double buffs, so I will stick to my guns. And by guns, I mean one gun, if you can even call it that, the Hydra. Those aren't real missiles. They can't be. They're on strings. Nope, get curved into his... Get him. Ah. Of course, forgot to mention the Hydra's strength being, since it's such a tall weapon, it's good at hitting opponents who jump, if you can manage to curve it towards them properly. Yeah, stay in my circle. Get in my personal space. Nope, I tried to rush. I didn't have a rush. Okay, nope. Just get out of the way of the punch. There again with the thing I was saying before. I feel like I get the one punch and I'm like, okay, get out of the way of the next one. No, and then I get hit and I get knocked down and I get a little frustrated. Get him with a good grab. I just noticed I'm losing. Well, not anymore. Yeah, gotta remember that he's got the shockwave when he lands on Bark. So don't fight him. Don't punch at him right when he's going for Bark. You gotta wait till he springs up and that shockwave goes away. Now we got to hoops. Master Mommy hoops. That's good because there's opponent number 3 I struggle against. Gaining momentum. Let's mix up and play some hoops. I don't suppose I have... Well, okay, I got ice. That's something I can utilize here. to my advantage. So Kid Cobra is an interesting figure. As we've read before, he was one person, like the only known fighter who was born with the arms ability. And I suppose as a result of that, he's always worn a mask since birth. Or, you know, grew up wearing a mask. You can assume. Because, you know, he has to have that power regulated. Gotta be in control of the ability he even has. Come on, you're gonna, there we go. And I like that his mask isn't just a mask, it's like a whole freaking helmet. That's also themed like a Cobra. It's pretty cool. Makes me think of a hockey player. Reminds me of that one wave of like Lego hockey players they had that were, I want to say they were like mildly bionicle. You know, they had some usage of bionicle parts without strictly being bionicle. Or maybe it was Technics, I forget. And I think they came in like plastic bottles like bionicle, but they were designed in a way where you could use it as a water bottle once you took the Lego out. So I think my nose is all stuffy. I feel like I didn't even say water bottle correctly. Water bottle. Well, the irony. Me, born with arms ability. Her, no arms ability at all. Flying higher, it's Kid Cobra versus the Scrapyard Scrapper McDixieCup. Her jetpack lets her stay airborne, which is impressive considering the heft of that suit. She can also dash while hovering, so look alive, kid. Guess I'll go double Hydra. Get it with the fire. I just had an idea yesterday that it would be so cool to see Mechanica in the sequel, or in a sequel to ARMS, that takes place like a few years later, and Mechanica gets the ability, she gets the ARMS ability, and then her arms still look like the arms on her robot suit. And then maybe she still fights with, you know, her playstyle is still the same, because she fights with the jetpack and armor. She just doesn't need a full mechanical suit to do it. Although, I wonder what her ability would be if she did get the arms ability. You know, let's assume her arms are still mechanical like the suit. What would her powers be? Since, in this game, her abilities are all based on the suits. It's hover and heavy armor. Super armor! Ah, I can't get it right. I suppose it's hard to say. Because there aren't really any characters who are known for their genius other than Mechanica. I say as she blows herself up. Jeez. Sorry, Mechanica. I wonder if there are any people in universe who have the arms ability who don't have any unique traits. Because my assumption is that everyone who has the arms ability also gets additional powers, as we've seen with basically everyone. You know, Kid Cobra's got his dash, Springman's got shockwaves, we're gonna go, let's get the multi-jumps. So it could be that could be something they could do if they wanted to give Mechanica the arms ability. It's just she got the arms ability, but all she got was the stretchy arms. She didn't get any additional powers. Also, that reminds me of more headcanon I have that, you know, not only does the arms ability give people who have it additional powers, again, you know, Springman's shockwaves or go being able to jump, but also the ability to channel energy, which is how they're able to charge up their arms and get a rush. You know, they're basically like it's like they're magical. Except now I wouldn't call it magical. It's more like, actually I don't know what I'd compare to. Like it's like a superpower that just lets them manipulate energy. You know, like if you got the ability to throw fireballs, like that's not a spell, it's a superpower, but it's still this kind of all practically borderline magical ability to just throw fireballs out of nowhere. Although I guess technically that would just be pyrokinesis. It would be, if it were scientific. If it were in reality, that's what it'd be classified as. His arms of choice are all dangerous variety. We're talking poison, people. But cobras are poisonous too, I think. Can a kid handle a taste of his own medicine? It's poison versus poison. Boy, I'm happy to be up here in the booth today. Come on, kid. Actually, snakes aren't poisonous, they're venomous, because poisonous is when you die from eating it, but venomous is when it bites you when you die. I learned that from Aspen Heroes. Also, going back to Kid Cobra being born with the arms ability, I heard a theory yesterday that, yesterday, this being recorded in 2022, I heard a new theory about arms. You know, me having played this game since launch. The theory that Kid Cobra is actually a snake who evolved the arms ability and just happens to look like a person. I don't really agree with that idea, because it has been said that people can be born with the arms ability, and Kid Cobra was born with the arms ability. And I feel like because he's got that streamer status, you know, he's a snakeboard streamer slash he's a snakeboard content creator. That's the succinct way to put it. That he, you know, he wants his privacy, so he doesn't want to be necessarily known directly. He doesn't want to give away his identity. It's kind of like me. That's why I don't have face cam. I like being anonymous, being an enigma. I find that more fun. So I assume the same at Kid Cobra, although his physique is kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I got the knockdown animations when I got beat by Springman, but when you knock him out, he does kind of flop in a really spine-breaky way if he were human. But again, I consider that just part of the arms ability. You know, it turned his arms to snakes and his spine kind of loose. It's just part of his power set. Just like Ribbon Girl's hair is actually ribbons. Which is a totally weird concept to think about. Like, how does that one ponytail become that many strands when it comes down? I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. Why would a Wookiee live on the Force Moon of Endor? Have I done a single Let's Play where I have not made that reference? I don't think so. And of course, his mask being the way it is because it's a helmet, because he's a snakeboarder. I wouldn't assume that snakeboarding would require, you know, padding down the back like that, but again, it's Kid Cobra, it's Cobra themed, he's leaning into it. Although I will say, something that gives more credit to the snake theory is Kid Cobra, you know, going off of my theory that, oh, it's just the arms ability making his physique weird. He is the only arms fighter who has weird physique like that. You know, not counting Ribbon Girl's hair and etc, etc. Match 6, don't lose your cool. Let's change it up, play some b-ball. I'm gonna stick with a Hydra on one hand and a Coolerang on the other. Because the Hydra has a nice ability to reach over the net, hit on the opponent's side. Well, okay. Never mind what I was saying. It does work. I guess I'm thinking of when I jump over the net with Bite and Bark. Which, did I get V-Ball when I played as them? I don't suppose I was really able to show how good they can be at that. You know, you get on the Bark, you jump up. No! Excuse me. That explosion knocked the burp at me. Yeah, you jump up on Bark and you shoot over the net. And these vertical triple shots, like the Hydra, can be really good at just reaching over the net with them. In addition to their jumping. No, not again! Not again! But, I guess, again, I'm backpedaling on my backpedal. It's like, well, you know, you could consider Twintel's physique technically weird compared to the average arms fighter. Because her arms aren't her arms are her hair. So you could just say it's just the roll of the dice. Most fighters don't have their physique changed by their powers, but then you have Kid Cobra or Twintel. Technically Max Brass, because when he activates his ability, his physique changes. He does get buffer. Min Min, I was just about to say, you could say Min Min as well. Her left arm gets way bigger. That's weird physique. It's a ramen bomber Min. They call this place the Ramen Bowl. You can probably guess why. Don't be scared. Dive in and get in your opponent's face like a mouthful of noodles. Oh wow, he's giving me tips on how to play Kid Cobra. I'll just go slap her Goalie. Try to pressure her. Not let her get her dragon arm. And use the ice to get rid of it if she does. For the win, you know, really any elements is gonna get rid of her dragon, except for stun. Oh, explosion! Does explosion always knock down? I don't think it does. But that's besides the point. And no, I think poison does. Oh, blind doesn't. Okay, there's another. So not just stun. Like anyone cares. Besides, we're not playing this Min-Man. We don't need no Min-Man stats. Playing as Kid Cobra. And another interesting thing to note about Kid Cobra is that he doesn't have a defined nationality like a lot of other fighters do. Because you'll notice, you know, Springman, Rebel Girl, they speak English, but Min Min, she speaks Mandarin Chinese, I think, specifically. And Ninjara speaks in Japanese phrases. I believe Mechanical also speaks in Japanese, which I find a little odd, because for some reason I keep thinking she's Spanish. I don't know how I keep making that mistake. Ooh, kind of slide under the megawatt there. It's hard to tell, because, you know, I did have a height difference there. Being at the bottom of the bowl. Let me get out of the bottom of the bowl, I'm gonna get soggy. Aw, man. I'm so bad at aiming grabs. And I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, Kid Cobra doesn't have a defined nationality. I don't know. I don't actually know what phrases he says. His voice is so deep and a little on the quiet side that it's hard to tell if he even says anything, let alone any English or any other language. My assumption, honestly, and hopefully this isn't cultural appropriation or whatever the phrase would be. My assumption is Egyptian, because, you know, snakes kind of are known as like an Egyptian trait, you know, well, not trait. You're not a snake just because you're Egyptian. Although that would be cool, snake people. That'd be cool to have in real life. Maybe a little scary at first, but you know, it'd become normal after enough time. But like Snake Charming, which that's probably a cultural appropriation. It's like I don't believe anyone is actually like Snake Charming isn't a real thing, right? I mean, no, I said had to have come from something. So I guess there probably are some cultures that know how to do that, but that's, you know, a specific group of people, and that doesn't mean a race of people. Anyway, I should shut up about that. It's not like anyone's gonna actually get mad at me. It's like, oh yeah, snake charming is stereotypically an Egyptian thing. It's like, yeah, we get it. We know what you mean. And if you think I'm racist for thinking that, it's like, okay, well that's your problem, because I know I'm not racist. It's like, I don't need to prove I'm not. Anyway, yeah, so I assume Kid Cobra is Egyptian. And we don't have any Egyptian representation, so that would be cool to have Kid Cobra be that representation. But there's also a lot of other cultures that aren't represented in ARMS quite yet, like African culture. And Spanish culture, I think, because even though I keep thinking Mechanica is, she's not. Well, oh, wasn't sure that would land. Come on. Alright, I'll take the timeout. I'll take it because I have to. Did he say something there? Also, that fan up there in the stands looks flat. That's probably what they did. They probably are flat to save on resources. Ah, Ninjara. Match 8, getting stoked. It's Kid Cobra versus the student of stealth, Ninjara. Ninja are accustomed to living in the shadows, not unlike snakes. It's a showdown between two strong silent types. Bring the noise, kid. Now, honestly, if it's between Kid Cobra and Ninjara, Kid Cobra all the way. I like Kid Cobra way more. Like I said, there are some traits to Ninjara that just don't land for me. And honestly, I do think Ninja is kind of an overused aesthetic. you know, feudal Japan in general, like, you know, maybe Japanese in general, like that is kind of an aesthetic, you know, a culture that's overrepresented in media, partially because of anime, I would assume, because, you know, it's like me being American, I make my stuff based in America, so, you know, it's fair to assume the same out of anyone who makes something in Japan. It's like, yeah, their stuff is naturally going to be based in Japan, because they are too, you know, you gotta write what you know. What even was that train of thought? But yeah, there definitely has been a, I don't know if I can say sharp rise, but definitely a steady flow of things with Japanese influence. And I'm honestly getting kind of tired of it. That's one thing I respect Pokemon for, is like, sure, we got like what, 3 or 4 generations all set in Japan, but they don't exclusively do Japan anymore. Like, pretty much at least since Black and White, they've been doing other cultures. Black and White was like New York, X and Y was France, Sun and Moon Hawaii, Sword and Shield the some part of the UK. I don't know the specifics there. So I really respect them for making every region a different culture, and not just sticking to Japan all the time, because I'm getting kind of sick of it. Like, Neo is cool, but I'd rather just stick to Dark Souls, honestly. Although, Sekiro with the arm, that's pretty cool too. But, especially because ninja aren't always properly represented, because they're always depicted as these, like, assassin types, and that's not really a ninja thing. They're spies, they're not assassins. They're meant to get in, get info, and get out. Killing was the last resort. And Ninjara's outfit kind of is really not helping his case of being a trying to remember the word here. An accurate representation of ninja. Because they didn't wear black, they wore blue, because black would make them stand out, and the black actually made their outlines stand out under the moonlight. It didn't help them blend into darkness. Although I suppose, you know, ninja tryhards of life, really, would take any advantage they could get. So, you know, I don't suppose I know this as fact, but I would assume that they would change their outfit depending on what the background would be. You know, they wouldn't use blue if they were going to be out in the woods with lots of browns and greens. They would change to green or brown so they could blend into whatever they were going to. If they were going up on a mountain, they'd probably wear white. So I don't know, maybe there were some situations where they could wear black, but my understanding is that real ninja wear blue. And yes, I do get that from Gaijin Guma. He really is where I know all my ninja facts from. Oh, also, if you can, I can zoom in. He's got heterochromia, so not only does he have the rare trait of being born with the arms ability, he also has the rare trait of having one eye color different than the other. Ooh, we're in the semifinal already. I didn't realize we were that far in already. Match 9, one trick away. It's Kid Cobra versus the Heiress Ribbon Girl. By all the lights in the stands, you can tell how many fans are here to see her. If Cobra can win over a few of them, it'll be a moral victory. Moral. Like there are any morals in entertainment. I'm kidding. Or maybe I'm not, I don't know. Is that a fact? I don't know. It's not one I believe in, I suppose. Ah! Come on. Okay, maybe double Hydras was not the brightest idea. As cops up here on my driver's side here. Alright, it's working out. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm not very good at aiming. Ugh. And frustratingly, I'm not very good at breaking grabs either. Even if I try. even if I am able to react in time. Although, one thing I will say, I appreciate how much time you have to break a grab in this game, as opposed to something like Dead or Alive, where it's like you gotta do it that second that the grab lands, or else you don't break it. It's not like I play competitive Dead or Alive, but when I play against my friend. Yeah, that was certainly annoying. Yeah, there we go. Get you before your popper comes out to knock down my shots. Although, when it was Bite's Cracker, I think I was still plowing through it. Like the bottom of my missiles would... My bottom missile, not the bottom of the missiles, the missile on the bottom, would knock down the hit. And the others would get through. So that, again, an interesting thing about the multi-shots is that one shot can knock down someone else's multi-shot. And then... Uh-oh. And then get through. Man, I didn't realize Ribbon Girl does kind of sound like a sore loser. Ah, jeez. Okay, I deserve that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you a sore loser. I'm kind of a sore loser myself. I don't like losing. I don't have a good time losing. I'm not one of those people who can play online. It's like, well, I'm just having fun. So as long as I am still having fun, I don't have to win every time. It's like, no. I get annoyed at losing streaks. Especially against people who are clearly trying way too hard to win. It's like, man, go back to rank mode. Highest difficulty tier, whatever. It's like Splatoon. Just go back to X rank, man. Stop bothering the lower tiers. They recently introduced the ability to reset your rank, and it's like, why? Just gonna have people who are up in X rank, you know, smurfing their way through the bottom. It's like it was bad enough at launch where everyone was trying to get their ranks back, so, you know, you had a wildly varied experience between, you know, having an actually decent, fair match and then getting completely curb stomped because you're facing the people who were previously triple X rank in Splatoon 2. Is that how it worked? I think it's or was it S that had like multiple tiers and then you got to X? I forget. As you can tell, I never got that far. I'm lucky to be B rank, honestly. I've been trying to increase my rank in Splatoon 3 and I haven't been able to win my rank up match to go from B to A. I think it was B to A. It was actually kind of funny. One of the matches I did, I got matched against someone I know from Discord, and then he pinged me later. It was like, "Yo, was that you? Sorry, it was such a total stomp." Like, yeah, no, I can't be mad. You were pretty good with those early squelchers, because he was really good with those early squelchers. So I couldn't be mad. I was kind of mad, but you know, respect. What's just happened, folks? It's okay. Stay calm. Stay calm. Cobra was knocked out cold. Who would? Wait a minute. Another face anywhere. What's the right scientist? Dr. Coyle. Head of the Army Science of the Top Charge Research is also a sponsor of this very tournament. But in Great British Service, it makes me required by this. Anyway, taking on this Max Bass, it's nothing proof. Just got what it takes to be champ. It's all on this fight for the title. Oh, I keep forgetting that dialogue is not different based on your fighter. I think I'm gonna go Slap-a-Manders. I'm also just now remembering, we don't really know what Biff is. There really are a lot of unanswered questions in this game, and whatever the heck Biff is one of those unanswered questions. People theorize he's maybe an alien or some kind of god. I just think he's just some funny little yellow dude that the Arms Lab made to have a mascot. One of the theories, one of the pieces of evidence theories use It's like this one of the lore snippets of showing like the very beginnings of arms fighting, you know, competitive arms fighting. There's this yellow guy with like a hand on his head. So some people are like, well, maybe that's Biff. Maybe he's like a billion years old, or maybe that's like, I don't know, some predecessor to Biff that's an alien or something, or with a god coming down from the heavens to judge the tournaments. But I just think you could just look at that and go, well, maybe the commentator to ARMS has always traditionally been some yellow guy with a hand on his head. So ARMS Lab created their own mascot to represent that, so you don't have to hire some guy and make him wear yellow. Like, well, here you go. Here's the yellow guy with a hand on his head. Nice. Practically last second victory as I scratch my nose. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with double Slapamanders. Again, this whip type arm is good at punishing opponents' weaknesses, getting through the gaps in their armor. It's like I'm half sorting. And how many people do you think know of half sorting? Like that's the thing I think is underutilized. That's an idea that's underutilized in RPGs. Like, I'm not someone who sits there and go, man, why do RPGs always have to be so unrealistic with their giant swords and their, you know, not taking care of their swords and not needing to eat food in the middle of their journey when they're on the road? Like, no, I don't care how much realism you put in your fantasy. It can be super unrealistic, and that's cool. You know, I grew up on Zelda, so that's what I'm used to. The idea of the hero being able to go, like, you know, the entire journey without ever taking a bathroom break or stopping to eat any food. Or you can be super realistic and have thought out every single detail like The Witcher. Like, that's cool too, but it's not really my jam. I forgot what point I was trying to get to. But yeah, like, I definitely agree that you can make things, you know, you can make your simple setting more interesting by incorporating, you know, actual real-life techniques into it, if you want to. I don't think it's a requirement, but it's definitely cool. You know, a cool way to spice things up. And I think one of those ways is half swording. Because I think typically swords, you know, slashing-type weapons are considered not very effective against armor. But that's forgetting of the technique known as half swording, which was used to specifically to get through armor. So I think it'd be cool for more RPGs to have some kind of special skill on sword users, where you could spend, you know, your action points or your magic or whatever special energy you use on special moves to be able to half sword and have that extra damage against armor. Just like that, Dr. Coyle has been defeated. I can skip this because it's the same every time, unfortunately. Headlock. Gonna put him in a head locker. That's where you put your head when you go to the gym. I was new that the dog's devotion to arms was a little creepy, but this is total obsessed. What research for what? As much even here. I said, good luck, kid Cobra. Just think of how many. I didn't get to read it. Ladies and gents, you're not panicking now. It's a good time to start. I think I'm gonna pull out a Coolerang for this one. No particular reason. I just feel like, well, you know, why keep doing double Slamamanders? I do like that naming scheme of, like, arms that are similar having similar names, but kind of, you know, off-kilter from each other. Like Slapamander, Slamamander, Homie, Seeky, Funchuck, Burchuck, Toaster and Roaster. But then you got Sparky and, you know, Buff and Bob, and, you know, then it's not really... They're all glove type, and they're not really following a similar name scheme. Ah, I curved too far. What? How? Why did you... Okay, I'll take it. Why did you let me have that? I don't understand. And, you know, honestly, I would be okay with an ARMS sequel not having a new story at all. Like, if you just want to make, or okay, maybe not having a new story at all, but if it's still just going to be another year of the ARMS Championship, and you're just fighting to the top to win championship for whatever reason your fighter has, that'd be cool by me. It could still be you know, Max Brass is the champion and Headlock comes in when you beat him. I'm sure some people might theorize like, oh well, you know, Min Min is the one who won the ultimate party crash, so maybe she's in universe the champion, but I don't think that necessarily has to be the case. And even if it is, I would still think that Max Brass would be the champion at the end, because he's the commish. Like, how is he not gonna be here, you know, playing an important role in the ARMS League? Alright, that's one round. Do I want to shake it up? Burp? Was that you trying to... Nope, okay. Yeah, I'll just stick with this. Nope, you are not gonna grab me. Not while I have a Slamamander on my hand. Literally on my hand. Literally and figuratively. Oh yeah, that's a cool trait. It's his... Oh. Well, I guess it was because I blocked for long enough, but when you block, you do get a temporary charge. I think it's a really short charge. But because of that, when you block, Kid Cobra gets his special dodge when you do the... whatever it was called. I still haven't looked up the technical name for it. Nice. Didn't think I was going to get it when I missed the first hit. Yeah, maybe it's Kid Cobra is why I have a habit of trying to jump away from things even if I can't actually make it. 'Cause he's pretty good at jumping away from things. You would assume so with him having the best jump stat in the game. I mean, I don't know if anyone actually rivals it. 'Cause I know Ribbon Girls isn't as good as you might think, despite her mechanics being revolving around her fighting in the air. Though I did rewatch a trailer yesterday. I did see footage of like the debut trailer of the game, and it did show Ribbon Girl fighting mostly on the ground, so that kind of, you know, validates my own personal playstyle for her and what I've seen about being able to choose, you know, do you want to mostly be in the air? And I'm sure that's a perfectly valid playstyle. I'm sure that's absolutely what people do. I absolutely have fought at least a couple, you know, real people playing as Ribbon Girl who were just completely dancing around my punches in air. But, you know, seeing that in the trailer footage makes me think, yeah, it's a valid way to play is sticking to the ground and only using the jumps as shake-ups, you know, to confuse your opponent. Not strictly utilizing the jump every time. And a new Grand Champion, the Speed Demon, Kid Cobra. From snakeboarding to Arms Lord, congratulations. As his Slamamander wiggles down to touch the back of his helmet. Thanks to all the competitors and fans at home. See you next time. I forgot what train of thought got me on that thing about Ribbon Girl's playstyle. I'm so good at this.
Cargo, baby.
That's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.